What is going on, YouTube fitness family? We got a special video for you today. I got my boy Usain all the way from
Montreal.
That's what Canada, it is. From Montreal, Canada. He is probably one of the best natural physiques out there. I know there's a lot of controversy around that, but he's shown his blood work. He just recently competed naturally. It was this past Saturday. Yep. Did great in a natural competition. So I just want you guys to understand how much you can achieve naturally. I was natural until I was 27 years old. So I'm not saying that you should go enhanced or he should go enhanced in 5 years, but what I'm trying to show you is how much you can achieve. So I'm gonna run him through a leg day today and really help him understand how to build probably, I would say, maybe your weakest body part?
Yeah, definitely my weakest point, yeah.
And so really what we want to do with a natural athlete is maximize the amount of stimulus while managing fatigue, because we don't have anabolics to increase or decrease recovery time, increase that recover, or basically rebuilding of the tissue after we break it down. So we got to be really, really cognizant of managing that fatigue profile. So I'm going to run him through this training session. The other thing, being so young, we want to keep his joints as healthy as possible. So we're going to be training in long ranges of motion to lengthen that tissue and help him, because I think you've even said a little bit of knees or...
Yeah, definitely. Like I started upping the weights, but I feel like my joints can't like really take the weight anymore. So range of motion is definitely the way to go now.
And yeah, it's kind of a blessing and a curse. Like, he's a smaller jointed guy, so it's tiny waist, tiny joints. It makes his physique look insane with, only being 60 pounds?
165, yeah.
So if you're a smaller guy trying to grow, like, you actually have to be hyper cognizant of your joint health, because usually smaller joints, you're not gonna have those kind of like the advantage that bigger guys have when it comes to like bigger bone structure, bigger joints, a lot more like, strength and connective tissue if, let's say, you played football growing up. So we're gonna be focusing on these things, and let's get into always exercise number one, which is the leg press. What I was explaining to him is that, and he was just doing warm up with like one plate on one side, and he was like, oh shit, my shit's already burning. And it's really because what we're doing is what's called maximize the external force. So when you increase, or in this case, decrease the angle of the joint, which is the knee, we're gonna get more stretch biasing of the quads, because those run along the top of our femur, and they run basically vertically in this way. So as we increase the angle of, or decrease the angle of the knee, we're gonna get more stretch through the fibers of the quads, and external force necessary from a leverage perspective to get it out from where your knee is like this versus 90 degrees is like 3x, right? So it's going to be much harder to do the same amount of weight to go just down to here and then back up is gonna be very easy. And now to do this becomes much harder from an external force. And so what we're doing is trying to maximize essentially how heavy this weight from a torque perspective becomes to get it from here back up to almost locked out. So we never like to fully lock out so we can maintain tension on the quads. And I've had people argue like, oh, you're losing tension in the quads after a certain point. There's just no way. Essentially, like, if your quads are at some point attached to your knees, which hopefully they are at the joint, then there's really no way for them to be quote unquote off in the bottom position. They have to be at least resisting. What we want to do is get as much of a stretch bias, make this weight as heavy as possible in that bottom position. And the other thing we're doing is we're stretching the quads. So really what's helped me like alleviate a lot of that joint pain is using actually less weight, making that weight technically heavier by using physics to our advantage, and then stretching all of the tissue as I train. So a lot of people are like, how do you hold 5 plates like that at the bottom? Like, it really becomes almost not comfortable, but definitely not like, oh my God, my hips are gonna jump out of the sockets or my kneecaps are gonna fly off, which I get a lot of comments like, oh, RIP knees. It's like the opposite. Like, my knees have never felt better training like this as opposed to when I was training super duper fucking heavy. And Phil loves the clip of me training leg press with my like stupid little shoes on when I was like 22 years old at Equinox with like 12 plates on each side. So I'm sure he'll splice that in. All right, so proud chest, pull those shoulders back, there you go. Pull your butt down nice and hard with those hands, So I was explaining to him as he does this more and more, it'll be easier for him to keep that butt. You see that butt's lifting a bit? Yeah. As we do it more, that'll continue to open up. At this light of weight, we're not gonna be really risking any type of injury. This was 5 plates. for his size, yeah, we're gonna be risking it, but what we're doing now is just getting him comfortable with that range of motion and see how I keep teaching him, try to pull that butt down using the hands. Arch back, chest open to the ceiling. There you go. I also have the yoga blocks underneath the lower back, basically small of your back, in order for us to almost create more range of motion, but also put us in that nice kind of correct spinal positioning.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
Just one plate and
exactly.
feels like 4.
Feels like 4, right?
Yeah.
But you see how you get down to that big stretch position, and it gets almost as heaviest right there, just because as we get decreased angle of that knee, mechanically speaking, torque-wise, to get that concentric is going to be extremely difficult. How does it feel?
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
First time going this deep. And
any pain on those?
No.
Okay,
Feels good. Feels good.
So yeah, I mean, like, that's the biggest thing, is we want to, like I said, minimize that fatigue profile from a joint pain perspective, from a CNS tax. Like, you probably got an incredible amount of stimulus, but you're not like rolling on the floor or like breathing super heavy. So like your CNS tax from this is going to be much less than, let's say, if you were going to do a similar range of motion with a squat. I'm not saying squats are inherently good or bad, they're great exercise, but we have to consider the squat is you've got core stability, you've got lower back engagement. If he is tight through the hips, it's going to start to involve his lower back, as all that the posterior chain is connected through your through your glutes, through your hamstrings, your adductors, hip flexors. If those things are tight, it's usually going to start pulling on your lower back. So if you're squatting and you get what that's called like that interior pelvic tilt, that butt wink. So if you squat and at the bottom you start doing this one where you tuck like this, essentially you're going to have to reverse that and probably pull the emphasis out of your glutes and pull it in your lower back. And so people are like, oh, well, it's not bad to build your lower back. Like, sure, but not with like a weight you're squatting with on your back, and that's not when you're supposed to be like training lower back. So this is a really good way to start opening up your hips in a very safe way with less weight, maximizing that knee flexion and minimizing total body tax, CNS tax, and energy levels for the remainder of the session. One thing I mentioned to people is like, this tempo is not necessary for like 99.9999998% of people, like basically anybody but me. Because what I'm trying to do with this tempo is not necessarily create more hypertrophy using the pausing. What I'm doing is I'm just hyper focused on 2 goals. One is building muscle, but the other one is longevity. And if I need to take an extra little bit on these leg presses in order to continue to open up that tissue, especially the quads, to make sure my knee health is very good. And also what I'm doing is completely decelerating the weight, pausing, and a lot of times that shearing effect of that rebound where people go dump it down into the hole and then fire out, they use that kind of that almost stretch reflex at the bottom of the rep. That's where you're going to get a lot of basically inert or basically acute kind of stress on the joint. So what I do is use those really extreme decelerations in order to essentially eliminate any of that force, because obviously mass times acceleration is force. So if I can decrease that speed in which that weight's descending into the lower position, I'm going to decrease the amount of force on my knees as it decelerates and then recelerates in the other direction. Nice. Lean into that burn. Let's go. Use all those good meals you've had these last couple of days.
The crumble cookies.
Put it towards those crumble cookies towards the gains, bro. Come on. 3 more. I got you. Slow. Arch, chest open to the ceiling. There you go. Better. 2 more, just like that. Slow, eccentric. Pause and stretch. Breathing. Breathe. Push. Good. One more. Big rep. Big fucking legs. Let's go. Open. Chest open. Arch back. Pull butt down. And out. Good. Rack that shit. Good.
Whoa. Almost flew over.
Yeah. So what you can see, he's got like just everything else on his body. Great insertions. So once he starts to build this, the sweep's gonna be great. You see how it, just with here, it already sweeps out. So it's got really nice insertions. So as we build, it's gonna get even crazier. The other thing I said he needs to focus on is the adductors. They're not bad at all, but when you have big fat adductors, it makes the quads, like obviously quads here, adductor here, so it just makes the leg look that much bigger when you have adductors that fucking touch the part down. And this is really what's helped build that. I don't do any, like very much, probably 3 sets a year on that adduction machine, the good girls. You can see how much this quads is firing. So for anybody that's arguing your quads turn off, like watch this. All the way down, I got you. Boom, all the way through. Nice, come on. I got you. Arch back, pull the butt down, pull the butt down. There it is. That's much better. Let's go, 3 more, come on. Slow. Really focus on that butt. Try to use those handles, pull yourself down. 2 more. I got you. Good, one more. Breathe, I got you. Big pause on this one. Arch back, pull the butt down, chest proud of the ceiling. 3, 2, 1, up. Nice. Good shit. Woo. Bulgarian split squats are probably one of the best compound movements for leg growth, period. Smith machine specifically, you have the stability, you get crazy range of motion, you get glutes, you get hamstrings, you get adductors, you get quads, literally everything. You can push the range of motion, you work isolaterally, so both legs are worked evenly. A little bit more of a quad and glute focus, so I'm gonna be more upright. I'm gonna have the front foot closer in, so I get more knee flexion. So farther forward, that box, the more glutes. The last thing I need is more glutes, honestly. It's already a joke. So I'm gonna put front foot up first, find that basically, I wanna put this right in like the middle towards the back of my foot. I'm kind of using that for balance, not as much to drive any power. I'm gonna kind of put the chest nice and upright, go down as deep as I can, basically touch that knee to the floor, basically touch the knee to the floor. Big stretch, drive out. Go for 10 to 12 here. As you can see, nice controlled eccentric, big stretch to the quad, slight knee over toe. Inevitably, my glutes are still on fire just because you get to that much depth, the amount of stretch and drive you got to get out of your front glute and that front leg is tremendous. So as you can see, the pump just from one set, slight little bit of feathering hanging on here, thankfully, so I'm not obese yet in this off season, trying to keep it a lot leaner than in previous years, focusing less on weight, scale weight, more on that main gaining principle, trying to accumulate as much tissue while keeping relatively low amounts of body fat, not single digit, but also not getting up closer to 15, right on there on that 10 to 12. Nice, really good knee over toe, perfect posture, great depth. Come on, yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
I feel this one, even though I'm not using it.
Yeah, probably because you're still burning from that last, from the leg press. I mean, I could see, based on the way it was positioned, you weren't pushing through it. It just gets in that bent position. You're just burning, from all that lactic acid we built up in the leg press. But that's why I actually like to do these second, because you don't have to use as much weight to get just as much stimulus, because you're already pre-fatigued slightly on that leg press.
Do you usually like always do them this way? Is it like your go-to for the leg workout?
Like always this exactly? No.
Okay, you just switch it on.
Yeah, but these are good core movement patterns to show you how to safely increase that range of motion. Because if I was like went into let's say a Smith machine or barbell squat, and I was like go full ROM, now we're running risks of here, that what I was saying, that pelvic tilt and that kind of rounding, that internal rotation. Here when you get down to the bottom, once your hip and glute mobility run out and hamstring, you'll get to here. Instead of being able to stay here, you're gonna start to do this.
Lower back, yeah.
So I can be here because I've spent so much time doing that. So if you were to put me in that, I'd be fine. But I know that for a beginner, not beginner, but somebody who hasn't used these type of range of motions, I'm showing you movement patterns that are very safe to push into those range of motion, right? Because this, you're isolateral, so you're not axial loading is in the point where you can't keep that postural integrity, because 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. So once you're right in the middle, so you don't
Even
you
if
can't
want
really
to,
do that.
I got you.
Unless it's so heavy, that's just absurd.
Yeah, that's smart. That's really smart, man.
Nice. I'm right here. I got you. I got you. Yeah. Nice. Up. Yeah. Very good set. Atta boy.
Yeah, it feels good. Whew. I definitely need to put some size on them. The main problem was when I started training, it was from home. It was during COVID.
Okay.
Like 3 years ago. So I couldn't really train them from home. Just like leg exercise with dumbbells is pretty hard. So I'm like 1 year behind on the legs. Everything else is good. So I used to train them like 3 times a week. So I definitely need to put more size on them now.
Let's get you on some extra Turk builder, bro.
Yeah, Turk builder.
Hey,
I'm using it. I took 2 pills this morning.
There we go. How you feeling on it?
Definitely good. I've been using it for a while now, before prep. GO2 Max helped me a lot for like the cardio and stuff. And Turk is helping me as well. Just more energy, definitely like pushing harder. Especially like when I was only having like 1800 calories. Definitely helped me like just push more on the sets. And if I could get like 1 extra rep, that would be like a big
huge boost. Yeah,
huge
no,
boost,
it makes a huge difference. So
for sure.
If you guys, natural athletes, even enhanced, Turk Builder GO2 Max, tremendous products pre-workout, can help you with your strength, aerobic endurance, your energy, pushing through that 1 extra rep, that little slight bit of aggression that we all kind of love when we're training, especially legs. So go and check it out. Link is in the description. If this also drops before Black Friday, we're having a humongous site-wide HCLT sale. All right, so let's go through those ass Bulgarians. Ask him how he's doing. He's pretty toasted. So we're gonna switch over and do some isolation work, some stretch biased hamstring. So I'm gonna put this all the way up in the most stretch position. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna lock it down as far down as I possibly can. So I'm gonna go almost past where it feels slightly comfortable. So you see I already have tension. And what I'm gonna do is reach forward. The nice thing about this hamstring curl, it has something to grab onto. So what I'm gonna do is already put myself in a mechanically stretched position by hip hinging. So I'm gonna come here, reach, and now I've already created even more stretch and tension, and it's making it technically harder because it's pushing it farther out away from axis of rotation. I'm gonna tuck all the way underneath, pretend like I'm trying to pull my heels through my butt. Nice postural integrity, chest open, keeping tension through the hamstrings, big stretch at the top, drive through, underneath. So just like most of my movements, I'm focusing more on the stretch position in terms of a pause than the most contracted. I'm just trying to get into the contract position so I get a pause insofar as I can maintain nice control from the very top of that eccentric. Big squeeze, conscious control, heels. Pretend like I'm trying to still dig in with my heels as I perform that eccentric. So it's almost, you want to think about your eccentrics not as just like I'm letting it up. Slowly, you're really like trying to resist it with that target muscle group. So resisting, still pretending like I'm digging my heels up through my butt, toes to the ceiling. Big stretch, postural integrity, chest open, drive through. Squeeze, slow, eccentric. Try to feel like you're pulling your heels through behind you even as you let the weight up. Like you're resisting through your heels. Yeah. Chest open to ceiling. There you go. Big stretch. Bigger stretch to the top of the rep. Slow, eccentric. Reach up, 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 up. Yeah, there it is. Very nice. Nice posture, big stretch. And pull, heels there. Come on, you got more. Drive. Yeah. Come on. Yep. Pull, 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 pull. Last rep, slow, eccentric. Slow as you can in the up, slow. Slow, like you're gonna do one more. Slow, slow, and good. All right, so I got these yoga blocks basically at the very edge of the extension. So what I can do is actually get more stretch, more angle with the knee joint to drive more stimulus. I have this machine maxed out already, so I'm gonna try to make these reps as hard as possible using physics to my advantage, using mechanical load, using more time under tension. So let's see how these look. So drive up, big squeeze, slow eccentric load, Big stretch, pulling my butt down through the seat. Right about squeeze. I also have this back plate. Actually, now I do. Having the most farthest back position so I can get as much stretch and hit basically that middle of the quad as effectively as possible. Oh, fuck. Oof. Fuck, it burns. Oof. Yeah, you can have your butt forward and just let your butt forward.
Yeah.
Here, and then hips down and back. There you go. Now slow and eccentric.
Yeah, they're gonna fly out.
No, you're good. No, they're stuck.
The stretch is crazy.
Yeah. That looks crazy already. Stretch. Woo! Ooh. How does it feel?
Amazing.
Good.
Yeah, I need to start using these.
$9 on Amazon.
Yeah. The stretch is HLT. We should.
Yeah, HLT fucking blocks for us. Those are next in our. You like they have a secret compartment in them for like Turk Builder. Like in the bottom, you just like pull out you pull out like a fake urine sample for like a drug test. Like, all right, guys, that's a wrap. He killed it today. Honestly, you can see there's a different mindset when it comes to training with him. He really wants to try to push that extra up. And so if you guys are watching this video, take a few things away. Obviously, maximizing your range of motion, maximizing your form, keep your body as healthy as possible, getting as much stimulus with as minimal fatigue. We're gonna run some calves really fast. I actually have to run, get to a Young LA photo shoot. What do you think of the workout, man?
Honestly, amazing. I'm not a big, I've never been a big fan of like big range of motion. The only reason is because it sucks. Like it's actually hard. But honestly, it was amazing. Like I'm definitely gonna start using them because, like I said, on my joints when I'm doing like hack squats, for example, going like 6 plates, it's a bit too heavy. So I feel like if I include more range of motion, I can definitely get more out of my workout.
It's crazy. 6 plates is literally what I do my hacks, like tops at a hack squat with like crazy range of motion on.
My form sucks. Trust me, it's not good.
Hey, well, that's what we're here for. We're here to lift each other up. And I would never say like anybody's form like quote unquote sucks. Just like a different modality of training. So like if you're training more of like say bro status or bro kind of style of training, it's not inherently wrong or bad. It's just like different, right? So if you want to take some of these cues I've given you and make a hybrid of what you love to do and something like this, which I think he's probably going to do. He's not going to train exactly like this every single workout, but if he takes some of these cues and it works well for him, why not, right? So I hope you guys love the video. If you're not following this guy's page, blowing up. He blew past me. He's only started posting like a year ago. So he got more followers than me. It's fucking embarrassing, but it's not only not embarrassing knowing the kind of person he is, spending time with him. He's also hopefully going to be part of the best supplement company in the world pretty soon here at a big, big way. So really excited about that. And we're all going to send this thing HCLT to the moon. So if you're not following him, I'll put his links down below, but I will see you guys on the next video.